JJ, the CPA is here.
Okay, so it was signed into law on the evening of July 4th, which is that you have now until August 8th to get the Paycheck Protection Program, but this would only be for those that hadn't received it yet. It's not an expansion of it. We had heard potentially what had come out of the Senate, that this could be for those that already got it and then needed more for the small employer, and that is not the case. This is a one-pager that basically extends the date of when you're able to get PPP. So if you've not received it, then you need to get after it. My hunch is that after August 8th, because that's the drop dead date, so to speak, and that would be the date that it also has to be approved by, not just requested it. But my hunch is, given that there's 130 billion left or so in the PPP pot, that they will probably come out with some kind of additional incentive or additional help, whether it's PPP 2.0 for real or money given to the SBA for relief that way, or additional funds for the EIDL and the EIDG, which is the grant and the loan. So from my perspective, I think there's a reason that we've got until August 8th that they are allowing the PPP to kind of make sure everybody got it. But what does that really mean? You know, we've got the numbers that are rising. We've got additional time now to get PPP. You know, I think there's an anticipation of the numbers rising potentially. There's going to be maybe businesses that didn't think they needed the PPP before, but maybe if we're finding, you know, across the country people are wearing masks, or we're going to lower availability of the public to go into businesses such as restaurants, maybe there's going to be a second wave that causes businesses to go, you know what, I better get this. So I wanted to wait until it was actually made law before I showed you the rest of the video. So here's some additional thoughts that I had. Now that the numbers are rising and PPP is extended, EIDL is still open, which means the EIDG is still open, which is what you get at the SBA.gov. That's the only place you get that. The PPP is through the banks. Many states are coming up with grants that are helping businesses locally. But now that we're doing that, are we kind of moving backwards? And what does that mean for businesses? And what does PPP and EIDL kind of signify for me? So here's some thoughts over the weekend. Again, I was waiting for this to become law. And so check it out. And we might be feeling like we're going back into that time. And what does that mean? PPP and EIDL, to me, is synonymous with outside help is needed. There are things that are outside of our control, and just getting into the office, and I've got a ton of work to do today, but I just had a couple of things I thought I'd share, so I'm just going to do it throughout the day and then string a video together. But it's time to get the entrepreneurial spirit back in full force, because we don't need any more relief. So with PPP and EIDL, the thing I would say about it is, especially now that we've got the 24-week option, if you still have PPP money, use it wisely. I know that the first of us that got it, we just had to spend it. We had 8 weeks, we had to get employees paid, and that's what was the deal. If you're getting EIDL, someone was on the live show yesterday, and they had said they'd gotten approved for $125,000 of EIDL, but they only took $25,000. They were being conservative. Makes sense, right? Because EIDL is just a loan. But when you're looking at as we move forward, it would just be good to have a cushion. And so I had indicated, just getting stuff rolling here, I had indicated to, it was an attorney, that, yeah, it makes sense that maybe in normal times that, what we got here? In normal times that you would want to have less debt. But when you're in a set of circumstances of unknown, maybe what you want to be looking at is putting yourself in a position where you have a cushion. Hey, look at that, boom. Real, well, metal. Put yourself in a position where you have cushion. Get ready for it. As we're going into numbers rising, how much more relief can there be? And don't get me wrong, but I said it early in, businesses are not wanting, not used to, didn't start to get handouts, okay? Yeah, I took PPP. I wouldn't call it a handout. It was a hand up, right? We started, Tony and I, Amanda, Todd now, we started B4B Cares, which is a foundation initially funded very generously by Tony, which is a theme of not giving a handout to businesses. It's not, hey, you need some money, here you go. It's what's the pinch? So that's what I want you to find. What's the pinch in your business right now because of the pandemic? What's the pinch, right? Is it, I got to get rent paid? Is it, how am I going to pay my employees? Well, then guess what? Turn around, okay? And this is what small business owners do. Just a little reminder, but turn around, okay? And start working, okay? I'm not saying that you're not, but when I say start working, what do entrepreneurs do, right? What I'm doing right now, turning on lights, turning on computers, right? That's not working, okay? Yeah, you could argue that it is, but working as in getting money in the door, doing what you do. If you got employees, how do you get them involved in the process of making money for the business to pay for themselves? Yeah. Is it an employee's job to pay for themselves? Yeah, it is. Okay? It's not handout. It's not a charity. Yes. Okay? Employees need to pay for themselves and want to. They're only going to do it if you make them. So you got someone in your business and they don't normally do things that generate business. Guess what? Everybody's doing in my office now, okay? They're helping in the generation of revenue process. We have cut back on some things on needing some external help to bring it internal, okay? So how do you react when there's a crisis? Well, you know what? Many small business owners, it was the first time that we were in a true crisis being business closed. How much more of a crisis could you be involved with? But from the standpoint of PPP, EIDL, use it wisely. If you need more, get it. Okay? This is not a don't get a handout more. This is saying, how much more is there going to be? I know that there's talk about, well, with this 100 billion, maybe there's more to give out. Maybe. And I'm going to tell you this right now. If there is more PPP to be given out, I'm going to get it because I need the help. I need the hand up, but I'm not counting on it. I'm not counting on it. That's the whole point of what we're getting at here.
The CPA is here, been doing this for years. We about to get your money right, you got nothing to